Hello everyone, this is Pauline and this is the Parrot Sisters YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in our video today, I will be showing you how to do or how to make the 5-strand Bandika lines. As you can see here, I have used color 900 and they are many. As you can see, they are around 20 pieces, and I used Avis braid, and this is how the Avis braid looks like. But then I used color 30, and with Bandika lines that are also called attached Ghanian lines, we use long braid. And when making my Bandika lines, I also added some extra length because I wanted them long, because they are meant not to be pushed back. So they are around 19, so I want to add an extra one so that I will have 20, so that when I attach them on my sister's head, they will look very nice. Because I want to have a band at the center of her head. So this is how they look like. They are quite long, and I hope that you're going to learn, because in this video I will be showing you a very detailed process of how to make them. Earlier on I had made a video like this, but it was not very clear, so I decided to redo it because people have been requesting. So as you can see, I am making use of a chair, and I have tied a string to the chair, and I am doing this in my house. So I have these strands here, as you can see, and I first of all, before I start plaiting, I normally apply some mafuta or some oil, and in this case I used the baby care oil, and I didn't apply too much. And the reason why I'm applying the oil is to ensure that the braids will have a very nice texture. They will not be too rough on my fingers, because when making the 5-strand Bandika lines, it involves twisting, and if you don't apply some oil, then you might not be very comfortable making them. And also applying oil ensures that the strands are held together so that they don't fall off as you split them. And also it ensures that you get a very neat Bandika lines. So that's me there parting the braids. So that is the first step. Once you have the total amount of strands that you want to use, like now the strands that I'm using are going to produce one full Bandika line. So the first step after you have applied the oil is to split or to part your strands, and it's always good to start with very thin strands. You start with very thin strands, and then as you progress, you increase the amount. So in my case, I ensure that the first strand is normally thin, and the second one is thinner than the first. And the reason that why we are doing that is because while making these 5-strand Bandika lines, we normally begin like the way we begin the 3-strand Bandika lines, but then we split them. We split the first one so that it produces two more strands, and that is why we ensure that the second strand is thinner than the first. So I am already done splitting my strands or parting my strands, and now I want to begin plaiting my braid. So this is how we do it. First of all, you pick the first strand and you divide it into two like that, and then you place it on your string, and then you just start normally the way you'd start a 3-strand Bandika line. So that means that you have 3 strands as you begin. Now once you have plaited for a few steps, like 4 steps, now you split the strand on your right hand side. You split the strand on your right hand side, and then you place the thinner strand on it, and then you twist like the way I'm doing here. You twist going downwards, and once you twist, you take the strand to the back, and then you have to make use of your fingers. Now, as you can see here, now we already have 5 strands, so we will keep adding and twisting until we get a very nice 5-strand bandika line. So whenever you add your strand, you add it on the right side. So when you come to the left side, it has already set itself apart, so you can easily see it, and then you hold it together with the other strand on that side, the one on the top, because you have 2 on the left. So the one on the top is the one that you twist together with the one that you have added, like the way I'm doing here, guys. Can you see that? So you twist and then you take it to the back. So we have 2 here. We have 2 on the right hand side, and then we have 1 at the middle. I hope that you can all see that. So we will keep adding, and as you add, ensure that the strand that you're adding is not larger than the one that you already have. If it is larger, you're going to have a very ugly bandika line, and also it's going to be very loose. Yeah, so that's how we are doing it, guys. I hope you can see. You have to make use of your fingers. You have to hold tightly to ensure that your strand is tight. And making 5-strand bandika line is not as easy as it looks here, guys. Now this is as a result of a lot of practice. The more you do this, the more you get more experienced, and the more you make better strands. So this requires a lot of practice. Yeah, and as you can see, we have begun with a very thin top. So as we proceed, the bandika line will continue increasing in size. Yeah, and also as you can see, the strands are becoming thicker. We started with very thin strands, and as we proceed, we ensure that we are adding strands that are thicker. Yeah, so guys, that's it. That's basically it, because now we will keep adding the strands and twisting like that, and you have to twist until the strand is very tight. If you don't twist until you have a tight strand, then your bandika lines will be very loose and they will not be neat. They have to be tight for them to look very smart. Yeah, so we will keep doing this until we achieve our shape or our desired size of bandika line. Okay, yeah, so if you've ever done these 5-strand bandika lines, you can comment there. If there's anything that I have left out, you can add. Yeah, you can also share your experience with these 5-strand bandika lines. As I have said, this is as a result of a lot of experience. I started making this several years back, and I'm very happy because now I can plait them very fast. During those days, I could not plait them in a single day. Yeah, sometimes it's very tiring considering that you're twisting. So sometimes I normally ensure that I have started all of them, and then I leave. Once I am done adding the strands, I proceed for a shorter a little more distance, and then I tie a knot, and then I come and finish later. But the more I have practiced, I have learned to do them quite fast, and I believe that now I can plait them in a day and I am done. Yeah, so it is easy the more if you practice. So I hope that you can see that we now have 5 strands, and now this is how we do it. Yeah, we will keep twisting until we come to the end. And this is very interesting and fun. And I would even recommend these 5-strand Bandika lines over the 3-strand Bandika lines, because these are more fashionable, and also they are quite long lasting. So guys, I continued adding the Bandika lines, or the strands, sorry, I continued adding the strands until I achieved the shape, or not the shape, the size that I required. And then once I had acquired that size, I stopped adding and I just continued twisting, like you can see here. I continued twisting. Yeah, and once I realized that the strands were becoming thinner and I was almost towards the end, I added the strands that I had set apart. Now these are meant to make the strands longer. Yeah, so I added them just the same way I had been adding as I began. So I added 2, and then after that I continued twisting all the way to the end. And once I realized that my strands had become very thin, once you realize that they have become very thin and you're straining to twist, we normally, or I normally start placing them without twisting, like the way you can see here. I am no longer twisting, I am just placing them like that without twisting. So this brings out another beautiful pattern that is a little bit different from the pattern that you have up there, but then someone cannot easily see the difference, you see. Yeah, so this is how you just place without twisting. And when you realize that you've come towards the end and the strands are still becoming thinner, what you do is you combine all the strands So once you realize that they have become very thin, you combine all the strands. For example, the 2 on the right, you combine them into 1, and the 2 on the left, you combine them into 1, and then you have 3 strands now. So you finish your strand by plaiting the way we plait using 3 strands. So at the end, it looks like a normal braid. So right here you can see that I am plaiting using the 3 strands. Yeah, and I plaited up to the end, and it's okay. It's also important to give you enough space as you plait these bandika lines. As you can see here, I had to move my chair, so you have to ensure that you have enough space so that you're able to plait very neat bandika lines. Also, you have to ensure that you are seated comfortably, yeah, because sometimes making these strands can really make you tired. So guys, this is what we have. As you can see, it looks very smart and very neat and very tight and long. Yeah, so guys, I hope you learned something from this video, and look forward to more videos like this. I promise to keep sharing the knowledge that I have in regard to hair, and I hope that someone is going to benefit from these videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below what tutorial you'd like me to do next, and I will be very happy to do it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Once I was done, I trimmed the excess hairs. I also applied some mousse on it to make them shiny. Yeah, and that's it. So guys, thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.